I'm one of those people who, when I'm looking to try to learn how to do something, I want all the information. I want it start to end. I want it all in order. Reason I say that is because I've been on the internet since 1995, late 1995, but still, I've been on here a long time. And one of the problems that I've always had is when I'm trying to fix something or trying to learn something, I usually have to visit a whole bunch of web pages in order to get things done. Not little minor things, but bigger things. And I hate that. And the reason that I end up having to visit so many sites is that people will give you tutorials on how to fix something, but they leave things out. And I have gone through so many different things as it relates to the computer, as it relates to videos and editing, as it relates to almost everything. And things are always left out. And a lot of times those sites are like dry. For instance, they may give you 4 or 5 lines, but they don't give you any context to anything. They may show you a picture, but it doesn't help when they're showing you a picture and then you look on your computer and you don't have that exact same picture. They don't explain it. I was trying to get something done on my smartphone just a couple of months ago, and something was irking me, and so I go online and I'm looking on YouTube and I'm looking on Google, and I couldn't get an answer to the question because what everyone else was showing wasn't showing on my phone. It wasn't helpful. So this is how I respond when people say, well, sometimes your videos are too long, or sometimes your articles are too long. There are some people who just want 300 words and that's it. Well, that's fine for them, but it's not fine enough for me. It's not fine enough for search engines. If that's what you want, I'm not the guy for you. You know, they don't want any personality. If you don't want any personality, I'm not the guy for you. Don't read my stuff. Don't watch the videos. Go do someone else. But I'm going to try to be as detailed as I can when I talk about certain things. I'm going to be me, a little bit of personality. That's just who I am. And, you know, the way I kind of see it is that no one's paying me for any of this stuff. You know, I've never hit my 1,000. Way back in the day when YouTube allowed almost everybody to make some kind of money, I made, I think, $2.80 over the course of 3 years before they took it away from everyone else. So that didn't get me anywhere. But I bring this up once again because I'm working on what's called a membership site. In my purposes, it's for education. I'm going to be educating people on healthcare revenue cycle. Means nothing to anyone outside of the United States, and truthfully, it probably means nothing to 98% of the population in the country. However, I have a certain knowledge, I've done well in that field, and I'm willing to share the knowledge for a price at a certain point. So I'm using this software, which is recommended by a friend of mine, and I've been trying to do different things. And coming from scratch, I think I've gone pretty far. I've done pretty well. However, one of the gripes I have is that the videos on their site, which are very short, and some of the longer videos that other people have done that I've watched on YouTube, leaves a lot of stuff out. And that's not helpful. And it turns out when you go ask them certain questions, a lot of times they don't respond soon. They may not respond at all, or they give you a response and you're sitting there thinking, well, wait, no, that's not what I asked you. And I know that because I write my questions detailed. I tend to be kind of literal, and I don't always get a literal response back. And it's a strange thing because I just throw this out there. Last week, I actually broke the website. I did something in the WordPress software that I probably shouldn't have done. Okay, I shouldn't have done. But it just hit my mind. I tried something, broke everything. So I called my hosting company and they got the first part fixed. And I thought the entire thing was done. I hung up. I was happy for a while. Then realized, okay, you only got me back to a home page. I can't look at anything else. So the next day, I call them again because it was late at night. And even though they're up 24/7, I'm not. And it took them 2 hours to fix the problem that I caused. What was interesting about it is that the young lady I was talking to, it's my site is part of a website that I have. So in other words, I thought it was a subdomain. That's what I'd always called it. Turned out that's not really what a subdomain is. I had no idea all these years. I thought I had created my own subdomain, and I hadn't. So she made an assumption that the site that the blog was connected to was WordPress. I said, no, that's not WordPress. She says, it's not. How did you build it? I said, I wrote the code for it. And she was like, and I heard her voice, you wrote code? I'm thinking, yeah, I built the site. I wrote the code. I did the CSS. I did all of that because that's how you used to build websites. And she said, wow. And I'm thinking, am I at that point now where folks don't understand or don't remember the days where people wrote code? Still, they were able to fix my website. Took 2 hours. And the thing is that when she was trying to tell me some of the things I needed to do, because they didn't have the authority to do it, only I had the authority to do it, she would mention something and I would say, okay, what about such and such? She says, oh, I forgot to tell you that part. In other words, I could have broken the site again and we could have been on there even more hours because she was leaving stuff out. She was making assumptions on things that I would automatically know this, which I don't. And I'm not stupid. You know, like I said, I've coded websites. I've done a lot over the years with web stuff, but I don't know it all. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to learn that a lot of stuff I knew isn't relevant anymore, which is disappointing. Still, I wasn't getting everything I needed. And I think maybe had I gotten some of that early on, it wouldn't have taken 2 hours. That's just my thought. So, when I write certain articles on my blogs, I am as thorough as I can be. Some of it is detailed. If I detail something, I will give you point by point telling you how to do it. I add in stuff that other people don't. If it's an opinion thing, I still add more stuff because I could write what they call a list post of 10 things, and if all I wrote were one-liners, I'd be done in a couple of minutes. But how engaging is that? So if you said, what are the top 5 things that you could do to be happy? I could write down something. Listen to music, go play with puppies, go play with babies, find ways to make a lot more money, go to the casino and play poker and win $200 or $300 every time. Okay, I just gave you 5 things. Is that engaging? Does that get you anywhere? No. But if I have 5 things and then I kind of explain why I think those 5 things, and by the way, the things I just mentioned, except for the thing about maybe babies and puppies, I just threw that stuff in there. Still, if I just said nothing else except that, why would anyone want to read that? I know some people will say, yeah, but you're writing these really long posts. You can't read 1,500 words? How good were you in school? Goodness, we all picked up these tomes and we had to read this stuff. So I write 1,500 words. That's in essence maybe 5 or 6 pages of written word, you know? If you can't deal with that, wow. This is how come so many blogs die every single year. It's just one of those kind of things where I think that you need to somehow be thorough every once in a while. I am not going to be one of those guys who's all the time doing a video that's going to be 4 or 5 minutes. Even if it got more views, YouTube doesn't like that. I am not going to be a guy who's going to write 300, 400 word articles on my blog. I could be, goodness, I could be quite prolific if that's all I did. Not my style. And you know what? Search engines don't like it. So you can't win either way you go. Either you don't win with the viewers, you don't win with the writers or the readers, or you don't win with the search engines. You got to do it your own way. But please don't leave stuff out when you're teaching folks how to do something. That's my thought. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, if you're teaching something, do you tend to leave things out? Do you like stuff like, left out when you're trying to learn something? I don't know. This is just my rant. Let me know your thoughts. Y'all take care.